Hello YouTube, I've had the 11-inch MacBook Air for 2 weeks now, and I replaced my 13-inch with that 11. And the first thing I noticed was the sound. The 11-inch Air definitely doesn't sound as loud as the 13 Air. There's a huge difference in that. There's also a big difference in weight. The 11-inch Air is a lot lighter. And I found that out because when I was returning the Air, I did return it because it didn't suit me. I kind of ruined the whole point of the video here. Damn it. But anyway, when I picked up the 13 Air, I was like, whoa, this thing is heavier than what I remembered. And the thing with the lightweight 11 Air is that it barely put off any heat, which is good. Now, to keep it light, they had to put a small battery in it, and I did notice that. The battery life was much shorter, but the good thing is the battery's light, so it keeps the MacBook light, and recharging the thing is fast. I mean, you plug it in, you wait 30 minutes, and you got enough to kind of go for an hour or so. Oh, not an hour, but 3 hours, whatever. Let's go on. The screen is high res. I'm pretty sure it has more pixels than the 13-inch MacBook. So it is high res. That's awesome for someone like me who's still young and have perfect eyesight. I don't mean to brag or anything. But for someone like my mom, when I was showing her Facebook on this little 11 Air, just in case she wanted one, she didn't like it because the letters were too small. Now, I know you can change the resolution, and no. There is a full-size keyboard on this 11 Air, except for the top key. And that did bother me a little bit because I used the top row a lot. And it bothered me a little bit, but I know I could have gotten used to it. The trackpad isn't as big as all the other trackpads in the Apple lineup, but you can get away with it. Storage. This was my biggest problem with this 11 Air, was storage. There wasn't enough storage. I did pick the bottom end 64 gigabyte. Now I think I would have gotten away with it if I picked the 128, but I couldn't keep my iPhoto library in the 11 Air. I had to stick it in an external hard drive and just leave it there. Yeah, that sucks. I want my stuff with me all over the place. So I would suggest that if you do have a big photo library that you want to take with you, and you have a big iTunes library that you want to take with you, you should also think about getting the 128 gigabyte 11 Air. The other thing that kind of killed me was I was backing up my iPhone, my 16 gigabyte iPhone 4, and the backup was 7 gigs big. And I was running out of space, so for a week I didn't have my iPhone backed up. I don't like that because I get nervous, just in case it crashes. Anyway, let's see. I'm just looking at my notes here. Pro usage. Now, I did edit a video on this thing. Amazing. I know, it's crazy. Why would somebody edit a movie? Now, I did use iMovie, so it was simple. But I did have a lot of trouble. I finished the video project, but it was painful to edit this thing. I mean, you drag a clip from your events section, you stick it down to your project, and you kind of have to move it around, and it jitters and it jumps all over the place. I didn't like that. What else did I do? Whenever I play Flash video, for some reason, it jitters. Like it's like people are just moving like this. The audio is fine, but the video kind of just jitters like that. And the same I've seen the same with the 13 Air, so maybe it's just the problem with the Air or the processors or the graphics card. I don't know what it is, but I did have trouble viewing YouTube videos, Flash videos. I figured out that to fix it, restart the computer. And that's the thing with this, is you restart in like 15 seconds. That's awesome compared to the iMacs or the non-SSD Apple computers. Whew. Okay, anyway. Last tip is get Daisy Disk. It's an application from the Mac App Store, and I think it's $20. Really expensive for what it does. I mean, there are free solutions, but this one looks beautiful. Get Daisy Disk if you do plan to manage all your data into a small MacBook Air, because you're gonna need it, especially when you're like me and I hit 63 gigs, and I knew I had to keep an extra gig in there just in case. Now, with this specific MacBook Air, I had some troubles. Just with this one specifically, because when I opened up the box, it had fingerprints and I had just, I knew that somebody went through inside the box while I was unboxing it and looking at it. Somebody went through this box and went through it. That's that kind of concerned me because this is brand new from the Apple Store. And the box was scratched, and when I booted the Air, it did not have any iLife application. Well, then I had to use the USB key to stick iLife back in there. Now, I did call Apple, and they did say, well, just return it, we'll replace it, but that shouldn't happen. But anyway, right before I stuck that USB right in the MacBook Air, I looked at the back of it, and it looks like somebody already used this USB. So I got a feeling that somebody returned this to the Apple Store, told them it's still brand new, never booted, and I guess they believed them. And as for the final word, I suggest that if you're a power user, do not have an 11-inch MacBook Air as your only machine. Now, I think it's fine to have it as a secondary machine, but you should have, a more powerful machine than the 11 Air. And the portability is nice. I brought it absolutely everywhere with me, everywhere. I don't know how else I can explain everywhere, but everywhere. And I suggest you wait for a couple of months or maybe a couple of weeks from the recording of this video, just because there's a lot of rumors that the new MacBook Air is going to release. So kind of look for that. And I don't know if the new Air will fix a lot of the problems I talked about, like, I don't know, slow speed and battery life and all that stuff. But if it did have a processor speed boost, as in the Sandy Bridge i7 or i5 processors, that'll help you a lot with more applications like iMovie. And also, if it has Thunderbolt, now everything opens up, because you can now just get a Thunderbolt hard drive. It has less chances of breaking while it's in your backpack and you're running around or, moving around with it, because it's solid state. So that could solve some of the storage issues of the 11 Air. But anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Absolutely everywhere with you, just because of that small form factor. You can bring it on the bus, you can bring it in the McDonald's bathroom while you take a dump. Whoa. No, never mind.